Hi guys! So I'm back to blog with you about some of the struggles that I have been facing with recent, I guess events is the word I'm looking for here. One of you sent me a message recently of an anchor and a message, and if you're watching, that message meant so much to me, and bless you, and I'm so... I still have that message. I'm very, very thankful for it, and thank you so much for reaching out to me. It meant a lot. So, there's been a lot of rough patches in my life, but everybody has those. So I try to focus on the positives. I don't like being a victim. At some point, I will speak to you about some of those struggles. I want to do it within the near future because I feel like maybe that through what I went through, maybe I can help somebody else. I went through an extremely abusive relationship at one point, and it almost cost me my life in the end. And it was horrific, and I wouldn't wish what I went through on anybody, including the person who did it to me. Anyway, despite that, I try to focus on the positive and build myself up, and even I always said that I'm not a victim, I'm a survivor, and I'm not going to let bad situations turn me into somebody who's helpless or somebody who's bitter, because that's not what it's about. If it wasn't, and I mean, I don't talk a lot about religion on here, but you guys know I am religious, and if it wasn't for my faith, I would probably be in a very bad place after what I went through with him. But anyway, this past year, a lot of things happened. You guys, I'm sure, were aware that my dad had a very bad accident with his eye. He ended up having a battery explode his face that caused a lot of damage to the one eye. So my parents were struggling because he couldn't work. He couldn't find work with only the one eye. It was very difficult. I mean, anybody with a disability knows what I'm talking about. It's not easy to find work when you're disabled. And seeing that firsthand, what my dad went through and how it changed him, not just the accident, but like having to deal with this new way of living, I guess, because I don't want to say deformity, I don't want to say it in a negative sense, because it isn't, because things happen. I mean, tomorrow, one of us can lose an appendage or an organ, and it doesn't mean you're any less of a person. So, after him trying to find work and struggle to find work, they were struggling to meet ends meet. So that's where I stepped up and I tried to help them as much as I could. And it was a struggle. I mean, trying to take care of two households, seeing somebody who raised you going through something traumatic. And me and Joe had been through some traumatic things as well. Again, if that's something you wish for me to share with you, comment down below, because it's not something, I know I've hinted at it, but I've never really gotten into great detail about it. So seeing somebody go through something like that you care about, it's not easy. So I try being supportive, I've tried being positive and prayer, and it was difficult, and I know my mother had some very dark days. But my dad had a surgery recently, and he almost has 20/20 vision in said eye, which none of us believed would happen, including the doctors. We did not think that going through the surgery, there was a great chance that he would lose his eye altogether. So I was kind of against it. I'm like, you know what? You know what you have. Why don't we keep that instead of taking this risk that there's no guarantees? My dad is a risk taker, and more so than I am. I do take risks, but he wanted, because he's like, if there's any hope, I want to take it. And I have to admire him for that, because if he hadn't, he would have been actually worse off, because he's got better vision than I do at this point, which is amazing. So being able to see that, and now he's got a job, and he's being able to take care of himself, and things are slowly coming together, because once you struggled, it takes time to rebuild yourself back up. It's not a month or two, it can take a couple of years. It took me a couple of years to get me back on my feet again after me and Joey went through some struggles. So I totally get that, and they're finally getting to that road to recovery. And that's an amazing feeling. I'm so happy. And it was one of the best Christmas presents I could have asked for was that. So, anyways, my main problem that happened this year was work-related, unfortunately. I worked for a company that I truly did love. I loved the people I worked with, and I saw myself retiring from this company. And, I mean, my love was there. I mean, I borderline getting a tattoo of the company's name. Like, I truly believed and felt that that's where I belonged. And if you had told me a year ago that I was going to leave that company, I would have laughed in your face. I truly would have. Anyway, and it's still kind of hard for me to talk about because this experience taught me so much I can't even express to you. So, anyway, I was in charge of the majority of this office. I was the right hand of the manager. I helped her in every way I could. I did the majority of the paperwork and the auditing and all those kinds of things that happen in an office setting. And then we were faced with some difficulties. We had an employee that worked there that constantly fought us, and I tried making it work every which way I could. I really did. I tried everything I could in my power, and it was just a situation where sometimes you meet people in life that no matter what you do, you'll never be able to make something positive of it. And that's what I walked away from this person. I tried making it positive. I tried to... Every time they hit me with something negative, I tried making it positive back because I don't know what's going on in their personal life. I've been through struggles myself. Anything could be coming up here. And no matter what I did, this person attacked me, sometimes physically. I've been attacked physically. So I didn't know what to do anymore. Anyway, come to find out, this person wanted my position and fought tooth and nail. And in the end, there was a lot of stuff that happened that I can't really even get into details with you about. Anyway, it came to the point where I was under a lot of stress. It came to the point where emotionally I was breaking down and I wasn't myself. I wasn't. And I didn't know what to do anymore. Thankfully, I mean, I do have 2 jobs. The second job is to save for, we have goals that we've set for ourselves as a couple. We want, to purchase a new home and other things like that. So the second job is basically, all it is money to be saved. It just goes, and save it. And through this job, I've met some amazing people. I can't even express to you the gratitude. I mean, I owe these people so much. They mean so much to me. I haven't worked for them for a year, and they took me in like family. When all this stuff started going with my other company, they took me in like, they're like, we got your back. We take care of our own. We're family here. And I've never worked for a company, everybody says that, but I've never met a company that truly backed it up. You know what I'm saying? Everybody hears that, well, everybody says that. You know what I'm saying? This company truly backed it up, and I was floored by that. I mean, it was just such a sense of community and love and support. It brought me to tears. So, through them, most of the people that work for this other company that I work for also have a day job as well. So that most of the people that work there have 2 jobs. Or 3 if you could. I mean, I do my jewelry and stuff like that too, but I really don't consider that a job. It's more of a hobby. But anyway, most of these people have more than 1 job. And I met somebody there that they had openings. And they're like, listen, you are in the same field as I am. How about applying? I was like, well, what do I have to lose at this point? I'm at my wit's end, and let's do this. So I did, and I didn't have a lot of hope because, like I said, I was still very much attached to where I came from. And I didn't know what to expect. And I tried working up in my company, but basically it was one of those companies, unless you knew somebody, you really couldn't move up. So it wasn't about my abilities. They loved what I did for the company. They just didn't want to see me go any further because of, I think I was almost too good at what I did. So I started with this new company, and in the beginning I was scared. I really was, because here I seriously believed that where I came from, I was going to retire from. Hey, Des. Wanna come up? Let's say hi, my baby girl. So I thought I was going to seriously retire from this company and have a future and all this stuff, and it wasn't going to happen now. It was very scary. But then I started with this new one, and they had the sense of family like my second job does. And everybody knows each other, and everybody's very supportive of one another. I couldn't believe it. I was like, I've always heard about it, but I couldn't believe that I was actually seeing it. And to be a part of it is wonderful. So I speak to you a lot about the anchor. Hi, Desi. As you guys know, I see it as strength, and I see it as stability. Hi, sweetie. And I mean, we've weathered some storms, me and Joe. We've gone through quite some storms. This is actually a milder one compared to some of the stuff we've been through. Are you enjoying yourself? Are you enjoying yourself? Do you see this dog here? I love you too. So, with everything, with everything that I have gone through, I bought the bracelet from Alex and Annie with the anchor to kind of stand for that, because I weathered the storm. I had the strength, I had my faith, and I'm still stable. And it was just an eye-opening experience of who my friends were and where my loyalty was. Because people who I thought were my friends were not. After I left that company, I thought I had many friends within that company. And I can honestly tell you now, out of the 10 people who I thought I was friends with, there's only 2 there. And the rest of them turned their back on me. And that was fine. Because sometimes you need those lessons in life, and it taught me a lot. It taught me to trust in yourself, to trust in your gut instincts. It taught me that if you believe in yourself, you can truly do anything, and I truly believe that. And I know this is kind of like a ramble, and I'm sure a lot of you will probably turn this video off, and that's fine. But it's kind of like self-cleansing as well for me. It needed to be done. I think I had gotten stagnant, and I needed to move, and I needed to grow as not only just a person, but in generally speaking, because I wasn't growing where I was, and I became comfortable with that. And that's not a good thing. Not that I'm not saying that's not a good thing to be comfortable within yourself. It is. But when you become so comfortable that it interferes with your growth as a human being and to who you're meant to be, that is a bad thing. So that little push, even though it was negative, turned out to be a positive thing for me. I work for people now and work with people that I really enjoy being with, and it was a step in the right direction. I hope that this is the company that I can retire from and have a wonderful, prosperous career. I believe in that, and it makes me very happy to think that I finally found that calling. But even if it's not, it's a stepping stone. It's a learning experience. Like with where I came from, I learned a lot. I wouldn't have gotten the job that I currently received had it not been for them. So I can't talk badly about them, even though there's negativity there. I don't want to talk bad because I learned so much, and it did help me grow as a person. So what my message is here to you is, even though something is negative, don't let it ruin who you are. Try to think of it in a positive manner, because it's a way of growing as a person, as an individual, as here we are bouncing again, but I'll make this quick. Even something negative can turn into something positive. Just because a door closes doesn't mean another one doesn't open, or a window doesn't open. You know what I'm saying? Had this door not closed, my new opportunity wouldn't have arose. So remember that when you're in your dark times, and always try to keep faith or strength and stability, if you're not religious, in something, in yourself, because that's very important. Because if you don't have faith in yourself, you're not going to get far. You're not going to get anywhere. Anyway, guys, because this camera is doing its thing like it always does, we are going to get going. So if you have any questions or you want me to do a different type of video, please let me know. I would be very excited to do that and answer your questions. I will be doing a video shortly about, like I said, the abusive aspects that I had gone through, because I think that could be very helpful, but it's one of those videos that's not easy to make, so I'm kind of mentally preparing myself to talk to you guys about that. Anyway, guys, I will see you in the next video, and take care. I love you. Bye.